Welcome to the Sims History Channel, where we do historical experiments on Sims because doing them on people is illegal. And also unethical. Today, instead of actually doing a historical experiment, I'm participating in Tamarliel's AweSim Tag. Electronic Arts, the company that owns and makes The Sims 4, has a forum for people who want to talk about the game, and one of the areas on the forum is the video haven. And those of us who make YouTube videos have been chatting with each other for a while now, and Tamarliel is one of the people who participate. She invented this tag, and it was responded to by several other of the members of the group, and they basically tagged all of us. And I thought this was a really nice way for us to get to know each other and a little bit about our interest in The Sims, so I thought I would make a video myself. The idea is pretty simple. Tamarliel asked a number of questions, and she asked us all to answer them. I'm being a little bit different in the way I do it because I thought it would be fun to do a little bit of a version of a current household. So what you have here in the video is my Sim self going about and doing the kinds of things that I like to do in my video game. This is a complete game that I run separate from the games that I run for my video series, and I've got all my little favorite families in it, I've got my Sim self in it, and I've got all sorts of builds in it that I think are cool but are not necessarily appropriate for the series that I'm currently running. So let's run through the questions Tamarliel gave us. How long have you been playing the Sims franchise? Since it came out. Maybe a few months after. Who told you about The Sims? How did you start playing the game? I don't think anybody told me about it. I think I saw The Sims 1 in a store and purchased it close to immediately after seeing it. There was just no doubt in my mind that what I really wanted to do with my gaming free time was to create a little universe where I could control everything. And if you don't understand that, you're probably, more mentally stable than I am. Question 3, what is your favorite part of the game? Is it creating Sims? Is it telling stories? Building houses and community lots? What? I really enjoy all of it. I like making little Sims. I like creating stories for them. I like building. I never did like building that much in Sims 1 and 2. I never actually played Sims 3 because I never had a computer that was powerful enough to run it. But it's so easy in Sims 4 that I've really been enjoying it. I used to try in Sims 2 and I was always struggling to make the foundation work out. It just never worked for me. Who's my favorite Sim from the game? None of the ones that are actually designed. I usually get rid of most of them, and I try to replace them with Sims of my own. I've never was able to get rid of all of them in Sims 2, but I was never terribly interested in playing the pre-created Sims. So my favorite Sims are usually ones that I make, and my current favorite is probably a little girl named Rachel Vanderzee. I've been getting ready to do a video series, a kind of combination of a historical biography and something called a Let's Play. Those of you who aren't Simmers or game video players, a Let's Play is a thing where I play the game with you, right? So I want to do this biography series of James Vanderzee, who's a really important American photographer, and his daughter that I made, Rachel, is just really fun. I enjoy her a lot. If she's not playing with her chemistry set or playing chess, she's watching her parents play the piano or play the guitar or helping clean the house or cheering up one of the housemates. She's just a really nice little Sim, and I enjoy watching her. And she does those things autonomously. I control James and his wife and his sister a lot, but I don't actually usually do much controlling of Rachel because I don't need to do that for the game development. So honestly, she's probably my favorite. So the next question is, if I were a Sim, what would my traits be, and where would I live. And I can tell you right away, if I lived, it would probably be in the Sims, as a Sim, it would probably be in the Sims 2 Apartment Life expansion pack, because I like to live in a city, and that's where I live now, and I'm in a high-rise now, and I would want to be, if I were in my Sims Paradise self, I would want to be in a high-rise. Now, the red-headed Sim in the red shirt, that is my Sim self, and of course she's very idealized. My skin is not that perfect, and you know, you have that choice between ancient and this early young adult. This is too young, but the ancient really is too old. But the face actually is pretty good. I think the body's pretty good. This is me in my Sim life, and it's a pretty nice idealized version of me. And believe it or not, my hair actually does look like that, especially right after I've been to the hairdresser. Anyway, my trait. My major aspiration would probably be, in game terms, Renaissance Sim, the desire to learn everything, because that really is a pretty good description of me. And then for my traits, I took music lover, art lover, because I love music and I love art, and I love to talk about music and I love to talk about art, and really about anything new that I learn, but I especially like music and art. And I picked genius, because genius is really, in The Sims, it's a trait where you get bored if you aren't learning things all the time, and where you can convey ideas to other people, and that really is the kind of person that I am. I'm a teacher. I love to convey ideas, and I love to learn new things all the time. So the next question is, do I use custom content or mods, game modifications in my game? And I never used to. I used to play, when I had Sims 1 and Sims 2, what they call a really vanilla game, that is without any additions. But my first couple of subscribers to my YouTube series told me that they felt watching a historical video where all the people were in modern clothing was really unsettling, or, you know, it was hard to understand. And so I started hunting up period CC, period custom content, and that led to me just opening up Pandora's box. And now I have 4,000 pieces of custom content in my game, and more arriving every day. But I also added in a number of gameplay mods, and so for those of you who play Sims, you might be interested. I have Zerbu's Get to School in here, and I have, by the way, I have all of these game packs and the expansion pack, and all the stuff packs up to the present. It's now August. It's now the end of August of 2015, except the kitchen stuff pack, which I just couldn't. I really couldn't see the point of that pack. But anyway, I have all of the game pieces except that, and I've got Zerbu's Get to School mod. I've got Dr. Chillgood's mods, or at least I have the updated by Scumbumbo mods that allow children to die, which I need to use for the French peasants for my 17th century games and for the historical games, because child death is a really major part of, you know, real social history. I use the mods by Weeble that give the Sims a lot more autonomy than they have in the regular game, so they can do a lot of things that they wouldn't normally be able to do without my help, and that's so that I can have my little experiments be more authentic. And also, to be honest, one of the things that I prefer to do with my Sims is just to set them up and watch them go. I do micromanage them from time to time, but really I find it more enjoyable just to see what they will do if I leave them to their own devices. So I've got those mods, and I've got the no autonomous phone interactions mod, and the mod that prevents them from using their phones for taking selfies without me telling them to, and that's to kind of keep them from doing that during the historical games. I think those are the major gameplay mods that I've got in. Who are my favorite CC creators? For objects, probably Severinka. For clothes, probably Zuckerschnut and Bukovo. I'm not sure if that's the right way to say her name. And McLean Sims for men's clothes. For hair and for historical stuff, probably Kiara Zirk, Kiara24. And for just kind of the occasional cool thing and accessories and stuff, Karzali, whose stuff looks unlike anybody else's in the game. What expansion pack or stuff pack is my favorite in The Sims, regardless of which game it is? And I think it's actually a tie between The Sims 2 Free Time, and I never played Sims 2 as the base game. By the time I got Sims 2, it already had Nightlife, and then I bought University, and, you know, as soon as stuff came out, I bought it. But it seemed to me that all of the new things you could do with Free Time were, for me, really fun. That added a lot to the game. And then I actually really, really love Get to Work. I love following my Sims to work. I haven't actually done much with the business aspect of it, and I never really was interested in the Open for Business pack. I got it in Sims 2, and I got the Apartment Life, but my computer wasn't actually really powerful enough to run all of those very successfully, and so I took them out. And I never really got to get the full experience with them, so I can't judge them. And then I never bought very many stuff packs. I've been buying them for The Sims 4, but that's partly because of this YouTube video thing. And I buy them actually, the stuff packs I'm buying mainly so that when people do recolors of the custom recolors of the content, I can put them in my game. But I love Get to Work. And I know some people find it dull to do the same career stuff every day, but you know, that's the way real jobs are. You have to go do a lot of the same stuff every day. Even if you're a teacher, you have to do that. And there's plenty of scope for deviance. You know, I'd love playing the detective and forcing my interview subjects to stay overnight and then finishing up the interview the next day. I love going on patrol and messing with people. You know, if you don't play the game as a nice guy, it can be very entertaining. And if you play the doctor and you don't do what the game tells you to do, that's pretty cool. You know, if I spend half my sim day at Get to Work doing what I'm supposed to and the other half goofing off, I have a blast with it. So I think that really was a stroke of genius, that expansion pack. So my least favorite expansion packs were probably Apartment Life and Open for Business, but that's really because they just did not run well enough on my computer. I couldn't really even make Open for Business work. It just lagged incredibly. So it's not really about the gameplay, but about the computer. And then, now that The Sims 4 is out, what do I most want to be brought back into the game? What do I miss the most? Of course, like a lot of people, I miss toddlers. I miss having those little kids and teaching them to walk and stuff. But what I probably miss the most is the large collection of group interactions that had developed in Sims 2. You know, by the time you added nightlife and seasons and university life, and there were just all kinds of interactions that groups of several people could do. They could play catch, they could do hacky sack, they could play basketball and soccer, and that's really what I miss the most. And so I'm actually really excited for this get-together expansion pack. It looks like there's going to be a lot of scope for group behaviors. And finally, who do I tag? Well, I tag Twinsimmer and I tag Gus, Grown&Unsexy, because they've been both so cool about collaborating with me, and I want to know more about them. And that's it. Bye!